Live. It's the Kent Beck Scrum with Sam, Michael, and Pradwell. Welcome, Pradwell. I think it's your first time. Good, great to have you with us. Updates from me first. I've just been doing a pairing session with Nick on local support project, and yeah, he was having a really weird kind of error with this Twitter text gem, which we were really struggling to get to the bottom with. We have now seen that for some reason, like the Twitter text gem in combination with the Twitter gem in a Rails app leads to some kind of weird interaction that breaks them. We've just opened an issue about that on the Twitter text GitHub repo. That's a tricky one. That was took some real effort to get to the bottom of. Before that, I was pairing with Aaron on website 1, looking at the tab navigation for the users homepage. And we made a bit of progress there. I've also turned on Dependabot for the local support project because Nicola's kind of given up on trying to get straight into Rails 5, and he's just, I think, getting set up to set things up on the development server and play with the new updates from God, what is it called? A Dependabot there. I've also been updating all the premium data, maybe a third of the way through that, hoping to have all of the premium data for the premium API completely updated by the end of the week. Yeah, and I've got a backlog of admin stuff and the maybe NHS Wiki project things at the end of this session. But yeah, that's about it for me. Michael, how are things going with you?
Good. So I pushed some updates to that pull request this morning.
Oh, yeah.
We still have 2 failing scenarios, but they are different now. So they're basically revolving around the PayPal scenarios and checking whether an email is sent.
Oh, okay.
So I put in, like, I provided that the person's logged in. So, and they then can visit the subscriptions page. And the PayPal form just says, you know, there's that, we're like mocking out when PayPal updates our endpoint, and then it just like fails on receiving the email for some reason.
Yeah, I see that.
For why, and I didn't look that deeply into it, but those seem to be the only failures right now.
Okay. Yeah, well, that looks like great progress to get, if it's just down to those 2.
So
yeah,
if you take a look or something, pull it
yeah,
down.
I could try and, well, yeah, absolutely. That's a weird. I guess it may be that the PayPal, like the PayPal update is requiring. Yeah, I have some ideas. Cool, we can look at that maybe at the end of the Scrum or separately.
Or something.
I think I have an idea about it, but we should get on with the rest of the Scrum. Anything else blocking you? Anything else to report?
No, that's it.
All right, good show. I'll come to you last, Bradwell. No requirement to join in and tell us what you're doing. If you're, you know, it's your first time and you're sort of listening in, that's absolutely fine too. We'll go to Will first, who has moved beyond the listening in stage and now regularly contributes in all sorts of fantastic ways, actually. Will, how are things going with you?
Good, better. I think I've worked out what I was doing wrong before.
Right, on the Ethereum Y project. Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Which was really just trying to do too many things at once. I think I should just be concentrating on the most unique part of what I'm doing. And
Sensibly so.
What I was trying to do is trying to make a payment system work without servers, which is, it's an ideal endpoint, but it doesn't really matter for what I'm trying to do at the moment. So I'm just thinking, okay, maybe there will need to be a server somewhere in this, even if it's like hosted by each seller, or even if it's hosted by me initially and then hosted by each seller. So, yeah, happier. I can free my thought up now.
Wonderful, great stuff. Any other plans you want to share with us?
I looked at the Ethereum mob for tomorrow. and the project, and I'm happy again that it's a proper use for a smart
contract.
Oh, good. So that's going to be fun tomorrow at 3 UTC.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, looking forward to that. I think I've got a pairing with Brent, but so I'll catch the recording this time around. But yes, and we should.
Yeah. Well, there was one thing I wanted to, maybe at the end of this, I wanted to ask about that, about the scheduling. That's all. Yeah,
sure. We can come to that in the Scrum, and I need to add you to some extra chat rooms and stuff and things. Yep. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Let's. Oh, and then Nicola is here as well. Let's just check in with.
Hey there.
Hey, Nicola. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
All right. Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah. We're coming up to the end of the Scrum, but yeah, you can give us an update on what you're doing and if anything's blocking you.
Okay. Now I'm merging the Dependabot pull request, and I was checking that everything was running smoothly on the PRs. But when you merge when you merge two, like I think at the same time, Travis CI failed. So I don't know why is that, but yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that too. That with the Dependabot can create a lot of PRs that are small ones that then you want to pull in kind of in sequence, and if one does that, yeah, it can get out of sync. But it looks like you've got permissions to restart the builds if they fail.
Yeah, I was able to restart the build and everything was working fine. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So is there anything blocking you now? I guess you're going to start checking the things on the
development environment. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And blocking me. Yeah.
Note that there's also there are also as well as checking the web interface, there are also what are they called? There are tasks that run with some frequency in the background, and so for a real complete check of all of the things, there's one, exploring through the interface and checking that all behaves as you would expect. Two is, if you look you should have access now to the Heroku scheduler. I don't know if you've seen that. I maybe just quickly show that to you on the off chance that you're not sure where to look. Now you don't need to do anything with the Heroku scheduler through the interface here, but if you want to see, so we go to the develop server. I think then in the resources there's this and we don't have the scheduler set up on there. So yeah, you wouldn't. It's annoying. I will maybe need to document this better, or I think maybe we only have it set up on the production server. But I'm going to send you a screenshot of this. These are the two services that are running once a day to import the data from the third-party services.
Yeah.
So that's and you can just run those if you do like Heroku run rake whatever, and then like -r develop or -a harocn _develop. You can kick these off for the develop server to check that they all run appropriately, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah, I will do that.
All right, nice one. Anything else to report or anything else blocking you?
Nope.
All right. Good stuff. Yeah, and so that's our Scrum runner. Prajwell also here. Prajwell, great to have you with us. Did you want to say hello and tell us how things are going with you?
Hey.
Hey, Prajwell, lovely to meet you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I have just started I'm doing the courseworks with this edX courses.
Wonderful.
And yeah, and I have some basic problems. I'm trying to solve those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And I think you and I, we're pairing tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Looking forward to that. Yes, and we've if obviously with the course, you may want to if you're stuck on things, you work on them yourself. You can also come into the scrums, and if you're stuck on things, we can potentially give you a little bit of help in the scrums or at the end of the scrums. But yeah, we'll have a session tomorrow, so you know, no worries there. Yeah, you enjoying the course so far? It's going okay?
Yeah, it's going good.
All right, fantastic. Okay, well that's our Scrum then. Lovely to meet you, Prajwal. Does anybody have any other important items to bring up for the group or anything at all?
Not here.
Or if anybody's looking for any pair partners, I guess that's the Scrum now. So feel free to no one has to stay if they don't want to. People have got lots of important things to do. I might just have a quick look or chat with Michael in the remaining couple of minutes about the last error that he's getting there. Yeah, so this is website 1, and so that step there we've got when PayPal updates our endpoint for premium mob. So there is kind of like we've got a sort of a security hole there, in fact, although not necessarily an incredibly serious one, where so with the Stripe, you know, it's kind of like an integrated process. If somebody pays for premium, they do so through this sort of, it's JavaScript, Ajax, what have you, or it redirects and it comes back through, and it's very tightly integrated and it's very secure. Whereas in the case for the PayPal, like it actually, you kind of, if you pay via PayPal, it goes out to PayPal's site, and then when you finish doing all your payment details on PayPal's site, it then you then get redirected to our site, and that redirection point is sort of like an exposed endpoint that in principle you can just sort of kick on.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Let's see if I can just find it. So if I find the roots file, come on, brain. That's the views, and we've got the controllers. The subscriptions controller, I think, has. Does it have an endpoint there? Is it just coming through the update? There's some kind of endpoint that the special endpoint that we created.
But do they give you like a kind of configuration where you can set up a header and something to put there? Because otherwise,
yeah, I mean, I think what we do is we tell. I thought what is the thing called PayPal in here? PayPal.
The step says it's posting the subscriptions path, which would
right.
Update potentially.
Yeah. Let's go and find the step there. So this is features premium. Which one was this that was failing? It's the subscribe self to premium mob feature. Go PayPal. There we go. That one.
Yeah.
PayPal updates our endpoint for premium mob. PayPal redirect body. Post to subscriptions path body. Right. So it just, yeah, it comes in there and it hits. So like we're doing. So I think that the problem will be, Michael, that this is simulating PayPal, like when the PayPal sequence on their site finishes, we give them a URL to hit, which is like, you know, this, I guess just the subscriptions path, and then it will post this chunk a chunk of data that looks like this to it, but this is not going to be logged in.
Why not?
Because it's just because the user has, you know, they've been logged into our site, well, the user will be logged in, but for the purposes of this test, right? I think this post operation with this body here, we're not using visit like we're using Capybara where it's maintaining the session, right?
So not maintaining the session.
The session's not being maintained in this test setup here.
So I guess the question is, what do we do about that? Well,
it's an interesting thing to think about. Would the real user encounter that problem? Presumably the real user who has the cookie set on them is going to is gonna still be logged in, and so it would be, you know, unless they kind of like went and logged out in between those things. I mean, I guess the thing is with Capybara, you can only do visits. I don't think you can do posts without a form in a page or something.
I think there's a way to force it.
But I think, yeah, we can probably like get the session from Capybara and append it to this post operation, I would imagine.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, well, maybe there's a way to use Capybara to test API endpoints where we maintain the session thing. I mean, this is a workaround using the kind of like these are Rails methods, right? These post and get and so on.
Yeah.
That we use on those endpoints. So, I mean, I think I'm almost certain we can pass in things like the session can be passed in there. So it's but yeah, as I say, either like find a Capybara alternative that does this, and we'll just have the session all stored appropriately, or find a way to get the Capybara session into here.
Okay.
All right. Okay, well, it's time for me to go and do the NHS Wiki meeting, which I will start late as always. A few things I'm going to try and get the semantic web stuff installed on production today, I think. Great to see everybody, and I'll see you again real soon.
See you soon.
See you. Bye.
Bye for now.